Explain why OUP, as an internationally renowned scholarly university press, would felt that it's important to publish even this rock, this classic today. So our third commentator, Professor Wen from National Zhenji University.
安尼有听哦，后壁我讲话真大声，所以应该会听有。我嘛是拄开始应该有啦吼，了后我就上主要我这边大家应该无意见吼，会当讲你吼。Okay, I want you to look at this. When I was invited, I wasn't expecting any kind of brick like this. I was expecting something like 10 times smaller. And upon receiving this book, I was like, okay, for God's sake, I have been trained in a traditional French legal positivism. And now you're asking me to finish all this? But honestly, I should really share with you that it's so easy to read. It's so accessible. The approach is so close to our perception of the world, of the daily life. It's so accessible. So I strongly recommend that even you were not so interested in international law, and this book can lead you to any kind of decision making, just like Professor Ye said. This morning I was in a panel discussing with Professor Liao in the initiation of a national plan of action for human rights. And I was, if not limited in time, I was about to present this brief to the panelists and said, look at this, there is the approach. Just follow this and you will find the right plan of action. Just stop looking at the Norwegian model or the Finlandese model or the South African model. We got our own problems to solve and try to identify our problems and use our enlightenment, for example. I like the idea of enlightenment very much because for me, human rights are the bargaining process, those bargaining processes. We fight against each other to define what kind of right we can have. Okay, so I can say that this book, if I have to summarize in one word, I would say that it's all about human rights and not just human rights. Not just the human rights that you imagine that is a legal affair, so I have this rights and I can claim that before the courts, or I don't, I can only cry in my own room. It's nothing about that. It's about thinking what we can do in every aspect of the world order. And I was, if I can use the words Bible means that it can last. It's resistant in time. And now I can say that it's resistant in time because we can see in the new introduction that the theory still applies so well. The concept applies so well. I'll start you an example. Yesterday night I was looking at those new communications to those human rights monitoring bodies, and including European Court of Human Rights. And there was this case called Moutier versus Belgium. And it's the son of a deceased mother. His mother suffered from depression long-lasting depression, so she asked for assisted suicide. And it's legal in Belgium. Okay, so this son, he took action before the courts, domestic courts failed, and now he went to, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, went to the Strasbourg court asking for justice. Okay, if we use this approach to reread this story, and I would say that, first of all, intelligence. Okay, intelligence, it means that this son, his economic status is not ideal. So normally you would say that from a normal, ordinary people will not just easily seek these kind of remedies before the courts, but there is this American foundation, private foundation, very famous one, the Allens defending liberty or rights. I forget the complete name, but it's a conservative Christian group supporting for these kind of, well, maybe review of those rights against their values, their beliefs. Okay, so intelligence means that this information passed through the Atlantic and reached the Americans, and the Americans were interested, then they sent the support. And we are now before the courts. And secondly, if we use the promotion, look at this foundation. I do my promotional stuff not only within the United States, but also to the Europe, or even to Asia. And let's say, this group is called Alliance. It means that there's an integration of all these forces, of those living forces, representing the maybe more conservative kind of view. Okay, so and the third one, the prescription. Prescription, maybe we can see this way. Okay, it's legalized. Assisted suicide already legalized, but this foundation is seeking to stop the other countries to do the same. I want to stop this, and I want to make it so difficult in this country which legalized these assisted suicide. Okay, so prescription and invocation. So easy. I use this right to life to invoke that before domestic courts and European courts of human rights. Okay, so informal and formal way. Formal way, I use this before the courts. Informal way, I talk about it everywhere, whenever I go. Before those legislators, with those associations, any kind of media, okay? And application. So you see that this application, at this stage, we can see that the Strasbourg court has communicated those questions to the two parties, and in these questions, we can see those precedents set by the European Court of Human Rights, saying that, okay, states has their margin of appreciations regarding this or that, but we still supervise your procedural justice, things like that. So as it attempts to reapplicate, to reaffirm those principles set up in international human rights law, but in the meantime, it still throw the question like, is there anything different from these precedent cases? So let's see. The next one will be termination. Okay, termination stop to punish those who assist suicide. But now we are seeking to stop those governments to stop this. See, and finally, appraisal. So we reevaluate, look at this, if this case passed through Strasbourg courts, maybe there is a possibility that the court say that the procedural supervision is not strong enough because this mother this deceased mother suffered from mental illness. And this mental illness could stop her from making the right decision. And what kind of mechanism do you have to supervise this kind of suicide? Okay, so this will strengthen the whole regime, the whole procedure, and that's the appraisal part. So this really works. Any problem that you see, any case that you see, you can see the whole picture, not just the legal problems stuck in the details, but the whole picture, like the movement in the world against this or that, and even the coming back of those conservative movements, as we've seen this time last year in Taiwan. So you know how to use these tools. They are too. So this continuing struggles, continuing dialogue between those movements, and I think that that's what I like. I would like to emphasize once again this idea of enlightenment. Enlightenment doesn't mean only that God inspires me, but we inspire each other. Even if I say something stupid, but this stupid idea might remind you of some wisdom, some brilliant idea. So that's what I see as enlightenment in your book, and I'm largely enlightened. And thank you very much for this book. I hope that there will be a third version, and I can be enlightened once again. Thank you. Thank you.
翁教授刚刚做了一个非常漂亮的展演，是陈教授跟陈教授两位老师McDougall Laswell 这本书的方法是怎么样的经典？他刚刚用最新的一个欧洲人权法院的关于加工自杀的各方面人权冲突的案例，按照陈教授的这本书所谓政策分析研究学派的方法去做了权利是可以怎么样的被理解，那这中间什么样的脉络，什么样的力量可以发生冲突，即便法院做了决定之后，还有可能会有进一步的发展。那这样子的一个政策分析或者是动态程序的学派，是到今天仍然是非常适